Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of Making Do Growing Up Colored in the Jim Crow South During the Great Depression, and with our new banner, Tuskegee Strong, Believe Tuskegee Strong. And that has been quite a journey in and of itself. But today we're going to talk about editing. To tell you the truth, I always knew editing was an important part of writing, and in particular, writing a novel and in particular, my journey in writing this novel. This is volume one. I'm working on volume two. There's a volume three that is due. Volume two is finished. However, I went through it two times, finding and shared it with my beta readers who got back with me with some really critical information as to what was missing or if I had a timeline shift, um, because I wrote this in chunks. I had an outline, but I wrote some of it here, my hometown, California. Then we were in Kentucky, and I wrote some there. And I wrote some when I was in Michigan, and I wrote some when I was in Alabama. So, I've been writing it for a long time in multiple states. And so, anyhow, the story shifted a couple of times. But this last volume two that I'm working on right now, I thought that I would hand it over to a friend of mine who's an English professor, and she did a really, really great job of giving it back to me, just covered with red, which was what I needed. And some of the things that both my beta readers and I missed, she caught just right away. So here I go. I start doing my maybe the fourth revision, rewrite, and and then I went to the library because I'm trying to get out of screens, I was looking at screens to find information on what to do to improve my writing. And I got a couple of books on writing and improving your writing from the library. Um, One of them has me on a quest to go back through these first 8 chapters of my volume 2, before I hand them back over to my friend, um, the English professor, to look for just different little things that I had never thought of before, like too many ly words, too many adverbs, even to the point of said. You know, Charles said, Dee Dee said. I had a lot of those, and this one book was saying that you should try to involve the person who's talking in some type of action, so it's not so repetitive. To make a long story short, I'm going through this particular volume with a fine-tooth comb. Of course, it's not gonna be perfect, but it will be better than it was when I first started. But the thing that I'd like to share with everybody before, popping off today or leaving our blog is, you have to start with something. So, the writing is the most important thing. Just, get it down. And then going back over it, I had some epiphanies as I was reading through. I said, oh my goodness, this would be a great time to add this bit of a detail or to put this type of chapter in to explain why this character is the way they are, but not going into the back history too much, but just to keep the story flowing and keep it interesting. But then the editing has to happen, and it is painful because some things I had to just remove. My friend said, "This is not about, advancing the story. Can you think of a place that you could put that information in?" I said, "That was real good writing, but it's out." So, do the story, do the work, write, do your best job writing, but expect that in the editing of the story, it may take 2 or 3 edits. You will have a much better product and a more interesting read. So, thank you very much. That's my writing tip for today, and it's as I find these things out, I share them with you. It's not like I'm an expert, but this whole thing is based on faith and believing in God, and I know that He directed me to find these particular books at the library because I was like, "Oh, this book should be out this spring," and I was like, kind of getting it out of my brain onto paper. But then I said, "Oh, but, my readers deserve a really good volume." So, I slowed the roll, found these great books, and here we are. So take care. Please subscribe, please share, and keep writing. Okay? Bye bye.